Hello and welcome to a special edition of the Alternative Sports Show, NFL edition. You know, the sports heads. We always bring you the best interviews we possibly can. I'm here with my partner in crime, Daniel Louis. How are you?
Mate, I'm good. But you know, we're pressed for time. We've got a special guest. Introduce the main man.
Let's do this. Like, you know, we do not matter. Now, we are very connected, but no way near as connected as this man here. Ian Rapoport, sir, how are you doing today?
What's going on? Appreciate you guys having me. I'm sure you are very connected. I don't want to downplay that at all, but thank you for the nice words.
Our connections are UK. Yours is US based. You know, your home soil. You know,
you're stumping on our connections. So, Ian, I you know, because you know, lots of people are asking about you as a person and those types of things. Before we get into the draft stuff, we're going to be picking your brains because everyone's ready for that over here. You know, how have you been, like, you know, coping with obviously, just, I know you've got a home office, which is like, you know, everyone compliments mine. That is the real office there.
Oh yeah.
But then how are you able to be able to keep ahead of the competition, you know, and function in your home and so forth? Like, how does it work on a day-to-day basis?
So it's interesting. Basically, like, my job never stops, right? So I wake up in the morning, I check my phone, and I see if any news came in overnight. Sometimes it does. You know, sometimes people hit me with something and I get it at 3 a.m. and I'm like, oh my God, did anyone else put this out? Because I just got something really good and I don't know if anyone reported it overnight. That happens. You know, for me, I mean, I basically, you know, I have contacts that I've made across the NFL for the last 8-9 years. And I rely on a lot of that. I rely on a lot of the people, the relationships I've built to say, hey, when news happens, they want me to have it. I think that's one thing. And, you know, the other thing is I spend most of my brain just tracking news. You know, like, I've known for several days that Jadeveon Clowney was going to be visiting the Cleveland Browns, you know, early on Wednesday morning. I knew he was going to take a physical. In my head, I'm like, all right, physical is probably going to be finished around noon. So at noon, you start hitting everyone. Is Clowney going to sign? Because he had a deal in place. And then I ended up getting it when he signed. So, you know, it's just a nonstop process of following things and relying on the people you trust. It is, you know, certainly it's pretty crazy, but it is also my life.
I'm not gonna like. I'm in awe of what you do in terms of just being that well connected. I always say, like, sort of, you're the NFL inside man when it comes to those kind of things. So we are going to sort of, obviously, we're pressed for time, but we are going to talk about the draft. And obviously, you got San Francisco. You know, the big talk is about San Francisco and Mac Jones. For me personally, I think they shouldn't go for Mac Jones. But what can you tell us on that pick? Do you are San Francisco, are they set on Mac Jones, or is it a smokescreen?
They're not set right now. And I think that's what the 49ers are trying to do. On today, Wednesday, when we're taping, is they're currently in Columbus at Justin Fields Pro Day. Next Monday, they're going to be in North Dakota at the Pro Day of Trey Lance. They're going to do all the research, all the work, see everyone in person. They went to Mac Jones's Pro Day as well, and then compare them. I don't believe they have a consensus. They traded up not for one quarterback, but for the spot. Basically, they traded up to say, we are going to take the number 3 quarterback. We are comfortable with that. There is a lot of scuttlebutt. It's Mac Jones. Would I be surprised? You know, probably early on. Yeah. Now, probably not. I think most people believe he's a mid to late first rounder. But, you know, if you're the 49ers and you know for a fact he's going to be your quarterback for the next 10 years, it doesn't matter where you take him. You should just take him. So that, to me, is kind of what they're looking at draft-wise.
All right. And with the number 4, we've got Atlanta. And obviously there's talks about them trading off. I don't really think they need a quarterback. Obviously there's talks about maybe they will go for him. They might go for the tight end.
Kyle Pitts, yeah.
What's your thoughts? What from based on the information that you've gathered, people speaking, do you think that they'll move off? And if so, do you think a team like Denver will get that spot, or what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Denver is definitely a possible move up team for a quarterback. I know that. Here's what I'll say about Atlanta. They had the opportunity, you know, to do the same thing that the Miami Dolphins did, which is trade back. They were pretty resistant to it. A lot, you know, thinking that, to me, if you're not interested in trading back, if you make sure you pick number 4, you're at least strongly considering a quarterback. And you're right. I mean, Atlanta doesn't need one, but Matt Ryan is 36 years old. You hope as an organization that you're not, you hope as an organization that you're not picking number 4 a lot, like hopefully never. So to me, it's such a prime opportunity to get a future franchise quarterback. Even if you don't have to play him for a couple of years, it's still worth it.
Yeah, Ian, I'm like always curious about, and this is purely for fantasy football reasons in the future. I'm trying to win this thing, so I'm hoping you can help me with this.
I won my league last year. It was great. Go ahead.
Did you win it? Like I don't even know what a feeling is like. I keep on getting to the conference championship.
I celebrated. I talked a lot of trash. It was fantastic.
I came second.
Yeah, well, yeah, we don't need to hear Dan's bragging in any formal way. But like, give me some sleepers. Like, who, is there any like, people that are off the radar that people aren't speaking about? Obviously, everyone's talking about the top 5. Who are the people that a couple of people that you're thinking of that are going to cause some waves along the way?
Fantasy football already?
Yeah, come on, you got to help me with this.
It's interesting. I mean, I don't know how off the radar they are. There's a lot of receivers. Mm-hmm. So you got guys like Rashad Bateman from Minnesota, who would probably be a first rounder any other year. Probably not going to be a first rounder this year. You got guys, who I would say are going to go, say 14, 15, 16, something like that. Maybe Devontae Smith goes there any other year, probably top 10. There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of receivers. I would also say Travis Etienne, the Clemson running back, and Najee Harris. Both these guys can catch the football. And if you want to win in fantasy football, you get a running back who plays all 3 downs, catches the football. That's a way to do it. There's a lot of good future fantasy players, I would say. And obviously, we're early, but that's what I got for you there.
That's what you see. That we're friends now. Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously we touched on you being able to like kind of keep ahead of the competition. Like, I always wondered, is there like some type of agreement that like who's going to be able to break something first, or has there been any fallouts, or is it like kill or be killed?
Well, you just try to have a mutual respect, right? So if someone breaks something that you're not on, you didn't know was coming, just breaks it clean. Yeah. You credit, or you just say, hey, like this person had this first. But it's all really professional. I mean, I don't think I want to win. Like, I think my competitors also want to win, but certainly it's something where you have a good mutual respect and everyone's trying to do the same job and not trying to hurt everyone. Everyone's just kind of trying to do what they're supposed to do. So there's enough scoops for everyone. I think that's one thing we've learned.
So, I mean, we're lucky to be able to get to speak to Ian Rapoport. Like, he is the busiest man and the first person that I personally go and check for NFL news, trades and, all of these free agency moves that we have. And then obviously people moving up in the draft, up order. Like, I feel absolutely ecstatic that we got to speak to him, right, Dan?
Mate, I'm excited as well, mate. You got to think about it as well. He's like, he doesn't really talk to a lot of the UK agencies and media outlets, and he's come to talk to us because of, we speak to him quite regularly on the side. We text him, and now he's coming on the show. Finally, it's been a long overdue process. But mate, I'm excited. He's already said that he wants to come back, so expect to see Ian back on the show again. Give us the latest scoop on NFL draft, NFL news, and anything NFL.
I don't know how we can keep on top of this stuff. Like, we keep on coming up with the big hitters all the time. We're gonna have lots more pre-draft or draft coverage. We're hyped about this, and I'm definitely be looking at the Giants to see what we're doing because we need to be making some moves. And then this man over here will be looking and praying that Russell Wilson is going to be staying. So who knows what can happen in this crazy time? But until then, I'm Dre. That's Dan, and we out.